Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to the session. I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Radhe Radhe Mohit. Good evening. So I guess I am properly audible and visual to everyone. Good evening. Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the session. Welcome to the session. In the last session, we have discussed about some of the topics like bilateralism, multilateralism. We have discussed about the new change with respect to governor also. We have seen that what new change has been introduced there. So that is one thing which we have discussed in the last session. Okay. We have discussed other things also, like there was caveat petition, okay, and related aspects. So these were the topics which we have discussed in the last session. Now, in today's session, the topics which we are going to discuss, the first one is the India-Bangladesh. First, we are going to talk about this India-Bangladesh issue. In the last 2 days, a number of things has been happening between India and Bangladesh. First, the advisor of Bangladesh government, the interim government, Muhammad Yunus, has made a comment about India and northeastern India. And then there have been some change, there have been some reply from India's side also. So this is something which we are going to discuss in today's session. The second thing which we are going to discuss is the Nilgiri tahr. This is one of the species for which Kerala and Tamil Nadu, they are going to start a joint census of this animal, Nilgiri tahr. So this is the second topic which we are going to discuss. The third topic which we are going to discuss is the deal between India and France for Rafale. Okay, so we are going to have the Rafale marine jets in India now. There is going to be a deal of 63,000 crore. Okay, so this is one of the deal which is going to take place between India and France. So that also we are going to discuss. And then we are going to discuss about this India-China relation also. Certain aspects of India-China relations, that while India and China relations are back on the track, there is a caution. There is a caution which India must exercise. We must be cautious towards the approach of China. So that is something which we are going to discuss in today's session. But before we go into that, let us see some questions. This is the first question which we are going to talk about with respect to the governor. Okay. The question is saying the governor can exercise his discretionary power to withhold assent to a bill passed by the state legislature indefinitely. That is statement number first. Second is saying the governor is part of a state legislature and also performs executive function as the head of the state. The constitution provides a fixed tenure of 5 years for the governor, which cannot be curtailed under any circumstances. Okay. So this is one thing. Which of the statement given above is are correct? Tariff has been reduced to 10%. Yes, 90 days pause and China with 125. See, why I am not discussing this? We don't know what Trump is going to do in the next few days. Okay. First, a week ago, he has decided that we are going to go with huge tariff on all countries. Now, 1 week later, he's saying that, okay, I'm pausing it for all countries except China. Tomorrow, it may happen that, today, suppose we are talking about this entire thing. Today, we are talking about this entire thing that, okay, US and China relations are bad. Maybe tomorrow, US will again take that turn. And then again, it will have reduction of tariff on China also. So, the US policies are not like something which is permanent. It is changing like it is being done by a small child. Okay, like generally you don't believe in the words of the child. Same thing is going with the case of US. US is not acting as a mature country right now. Every day its policies are changing. Its policies are taking a U-turn entirely. So in that, this daily discussion about what US president is saying or what others are saying, in long term, there is no such utility of it. Okay. So that's why we are not talking about it. Clear? UAP I will discuss, but that is a entire topic. Okay. Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, that is a long topic. We will see that. Okay. So what is the answer here? What should be the answer? Option B, option A. See, the first option, you know that now it is not correct. The governor cannot exercise his discretionary power to withhold assent to a bill passed by legislature indefinitely. Now we see that there is a proper timeline. There is a timeline for which the governor has to adhere with. Okay. So this first one is incorrect. Second one is correct, that governor is a part of a state legislature and also performs executive function as the head of the state. So second one is correct. The constitution provides a fixed tenure of 5 years. So that is also incorrect. The answer is option number B. Okay. So this option number A is, this option number first is incorrect. Now the power of governor has been curtailed. Okay. Now the power of governor has been curtailed. So he cannot have this for indefinite period. The answer is option number B. How many of the following are member nations of BIMSTEC? Bhutan, Malaysia, Nepal and Sri Lanka. How many of them are member nations of BIMSTEC? Which type of Indians report are relevant for exam? See, right now, like in the case of reports, if there is a major report, like suppose something which is very new, which has huge implications or which is regularly there in the news, so those types will be important. Like suppose if Niti Aayog is coming with a new report on education, so that may become relevant. But every other report like inclusivity index, inclusion index or state performance index, these things are not that much important. Okay. So there was a time when UPSC was asking many reports, but now it is not asking. C option. So which one is not there? Which one is not a member of this BIMSTEC? Which country here is not a member of the BIMSTEC? Which country is not a member here? Trump is starting the tariff internet rates. No, any people can say anything about what is going on in US. We cannot comment on that. Okay. So of course Malaysia is not here. Bhutan, Nepal and Sri Lanka is here. So answer is option number C. See this question. Consider the following pair. Lead nerve disorder, mercury, Minamata, nitrate, blue baby syndrome, chromium, Alzheimer. How many of the above pairs are not correctly matched? See, US is doing any sort of activities right now. No one can say clearly about what is going on in US because they are acting in like absurd manner. That is the only thing which we can say. So here we have this one question. Consider the following pair: lead, nerve disorder, mercury, Minamata, nitrate, blue baby, chromium, Alzheimer. How many of the above pairs are not correctly matched? Question number 3. This is question number 3. How many of them are not correctly matched? You have to revise the previous topics also. When we are discussing some mains related topics, so I might be asking the previous ones. Okay. So, of course, this chromium is not there. Here it is aluminum. Aluminum is the one which is responsible for Alzheimer. Rest all are 3. The question is asking not correctly matched. So answer will be option A, only 1. Okay. So here the answer is only 1. One of them is not correctly matched. The other 3 are correctly matched. Okay. So here the answer is option A. Now coming to our topic. Coming to our topic, India and Bangladesh relation. Okay. So see, what is the topic all about? Basically, India has ended this transshipment facility which it has provided to Bangladesh. India has said that now it is no longer going to provide this transshipment facility to Bangladesh. Earlier, Bangladesh was using the Indian ports for shipping to the different countries of the world, or to even some of the parts of India as well. Okay. So this is the news article. India has withdrawn the transshipment facility. India has withdrawn transshipment facility. Why India has withdrawn? What are the reasons which has been given by India? India has said that when we are sharing this transshipment facility with Bangladesh, we are having problems. What are the problems? We are facing congestion. We are facing delay. Our domestic industry is facing the challenge. And hence we are ending the transshipment facility for Bangladesh. But at the same time, India has also said that if Bangladesh is using that transshipment facility for Nepal and Bhutan, they will allow it. Okay, so India will allow the transshipment facility for Nepal and Bhutan. Okay, means if Bangladesh, understand this part, if Bangladesh wants to send something to Bhutan or Nepal, then for that purpose India will allow the use of transshipment facility. But for any other country, India is not going to allow this. Okay. Now this may look very much plain, that what is this, why India has done this. India has said that congestion, delay, domestic industry, due to all these factors this is being done. But there is a context behind this. And that is with respect to the comment by Muhammad Yunus. Okay, so he is the advisor to the interim government of Bangladesh after Sheikh Hasina. Okay, so Muhammad Yunus, now he has made some comment. First thing is, he has said that the northeastern part of India is landlocked. They have said this, the Muhammad Yunus of Bangladesh, he has said that northeastern India is landlocked, and Bangladesh is the only country which can provide this port facility to China. Okay, so this Muhammad Yunus, he has said that the northeastern India, it is landlocked. Okay, and Bangladesh, in fact, the statement was that Bangladesh is the guardian of the Indian Ocean. It says that he has said that Bangladesh is the guardian of the Indian Ocean. So you can understand from that how much ambitious he is sounding. He has said that Bangladesh is the guardian of the Indian Ocean. Okay, even this, like the Bay of Bengal, the Indian Ocean region, he has said that he is the guardian of that all. Okay, so that is this one part, that he is the guardian of the ocean, or he is having the or Bangladesh is the only country with the access to this area. So that was a comment which was made by Muhammad Yunus. He also said that China could use ports of Bangladesh for extending its influence. So they have also said that the China government can use the ports of Bangladesh to increase its influence in the entire region. So that is one of the comment which has been made by Bangladesh. Of course, China will not do that because it knows that there is going to be other repercussions of it. Okay, but see, this is how Bangladesh is reacting now. Bangladesh has clearly taken a side. Bangladesh has clearly taken a side that how it is going to have its foreign policy in the upcoming days, not years. Because at the end of 1 year or 2 years, they will realize that what went wrong with Sri Lanka, what went wrong with Pakistan, what went wrong with Maldives, what went wrong with Myanmar and other countries of the world. So after a few years, they will of course realize, but for the next few months or for the next 1 or 2 years, they are going to do this cherry picking in China. They are going to like woo China for getting more and more investment. And all this has been done just for a investment of $2.5 billion. All this for an investment of just $2.5 billion. Okay. So this is the emerging issue. This is the emerging issue in India-Bangladesh relation right now. For those who are going for mains this year, now India-Bangladesh relation has become an important topic. Because Bangladesh has clearly shown various signs. Bangladesh has shown signs with respect to the minorities. Bangladesh has also shown signs with respect to China. Okay. Bangladesh has also shown signs with respect to the border patrolling and all other things. Okay. So now we see that there is going to be some issues between India and Bangladesh in upcoming times also. Okay. So this is one part. Like India and Bangladesh, India has also reciprocated. India has cancelled the transshipment facility provided to Bangladesh. Okay. So this is one part why India needs to be cautious again about Bangladesh. Okay. So this is one part. This is the first article. Second thing which we are going to discuss is Nilgiri tahr. Okay. So second thing which we are going to discuss is Nilgiri tahr. So can you tell me, Nilgiri tahr is the state animal of which state? It is the state animal of which state? Kerala or Tamil Nadu? Of course, there are only two states. It is Nilgiri tahr. So whether it is Kerala or is it Tamil Nadu? Is it Kerala or Tamil Nadu? Okay, two answers says Tamil Nadu. Anyone else? Tamil Nadu. Okay, so yes, this is the state animal of Tamil Nadu. This is the state animal of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so that is first part. It is the state animal of Tamil Nadu. Why it is there in the news? If we look at this, the thing is, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, they are going to start a joint estimation of or joint census of this Nilgiri tahr. Okay, so joint census of Nilgiri tahr by Kerala plus Tamil Nadu. Kerala plus Tamil Nadu. Okay. Now this Nilgiri tahr, as it is clear from the name itself, it is endemic to the Nilgiri regions. Okay. It is endemic to Nilgiri Western Ghats. It is endemic to Nilgiri or Western Ghats. Okay. So this is something which is endemic to the Western Ghats. Now there is a special park. There is a special park which was constructed or which was notified just for the protection of this Nilgiri tahr. There was a special area which was notified for the protection of this very animal, and that was Erravikulam National Park. There is this Erravikulam National Park, and this Erravikulam National Park has been declared solely for this conservation of the Nilgiri tahr. It has been declared solely for the conservation of Nilgiri tahr. And now it is completing 50 years. Now this is completing 50 years this year itself. In 2025, it is completing the 50 years. So that's why it is also important. Eraviculam National Park, okay, it is completing the 50 years. It was notified just for the protection of this animal. Okay. It is there in Annamalai Hills in Kerala. This Eraviculam National Park, it is there in Annamalai Hills in Kerala. Okay. So what we see that it is completing 50 years, and on this eve itself, the government of Tamil Nadu and government of Kerala, they are starting with this joint census of Nilgiri tahr. Okay. Now, if we are talking about this organism, it is called as saddleback. It is called as saddleback. This is called as saddleback. Okay. Why it is called as saddleback? Because it is having saddle on the back. What is saddle? A white region. Okay. If you look at this animal, here you will find that a saddle is present on its back. Okay. On its back portion, there is presence of a saddle or gray area. Okay. So what we see that presence of gray area or saddle on its back. So hence it is also called as saddleback. Okay. Now if we look at this, there is also this Mukurti National Park which was created for conservation of this Mukurti National Park. There is also this Mukurti National Park. Okay. This is also created for Nilgiri tahr. But the highest number is here. Highest number of Nilgiri. Highest number of Nilgiri tahr. The highest number of Nilgiri tahr is there in Eraviculam National Park. Near around 700 Nilgiri tahr are present in this Eraviculam National Park. Okay. And in this Mukurti, which has been created for this Nilgiri tahr, there are Nilgiri tahr, but not that much in number. Okay. Can you tell me what is the IUCN status? Any idea what is the IUCN status of this organism? IUCN status? Any idea about this? What is the IUCN status of this organism? It is not critically endangered. It is endangered only. Okay. So if we look at this, it is endangered. It is coming under the endangered category. And under the Wildlife Protection Act also, it is coming under the Schedule 1. Okay. So this is coming under Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act, and in the IUCN, it is listed under the endangered category. Okay. So this is our Nilgiri tahr, the saddleback or the Nilgiri tahr of this region. Okay. Now coming to this portion, Rafale-M jets. So there has been a deal. This has been finalized. This deal has been finalized, and let us see that what all has been done under this deal. Government has approved this 63,000 crore deal for Rafale-M jets. Okay. So see, when we talk about this, you can see it is a 63,000 crore project. 63,000 crore in rupees. This has been approved. And how many we are going to get? We are going to get 26 Rafale M jets. Okay. So we are going to have 26 Rafale-M jets. It has been approved by the Cabinet Committee on Security. Okay. So this deal has been approved by the Cabinet Committee. There is the Cabinet Committee on Security. So this has approved the deal. And this cabinet committee, if you look at this, it is led by the Prime Minister. It is led by the Prime Minister. Okay. So this cabinet committee has approved the deal, and we are going to have 26 Rafale-M jets for our naval system, for our Indian Navy. Now, you will look at this part that 22 of them that will be single seater and 4 will be twin seater. Okay. So 22 of them, it is single seater, and 4 of them, they are twin seater. Okay. Now this is something which has been approved. It is something which has been approved now. So next month this deal will be finalized. Next month this deal is going to be finalized when the Defense Minister of France will visit India. There is another project which is the extension of Project 75. Project 75 is there with respect to the submarines. Okay. So 3 Scorpion class submarines. So this is pending the approval from the Cabinet Committee on Security. Okay. The Scorpion class submarine has also been acquired from France. So right now we see that the Cabinet Committee has not given the approval for this. For this portion, for Rafale, the approval has been provided, but for the other one, the approval has not been provided yet. Okay. So this is the second aspect. Then what we see that this is going to be integrated on INS Vikramaditya. Okay. These are going to be added to INS Vikramaditya. Okay. This INS Vikramaditya is of Russian origin. Means we have got it from Russia. So it is a carrier. Carrier means the vessels on which we can have the fighter jets. Okay. So there is INS Vikramaditya, which is of Russian origin, and then INS Vikrant, which is indigenous. INS Vikrant, which is our indigenous. Okay. So this is the portion which is indigenous, and we are going to have this Rafale, which is going to be integrated on both these INS Vikramaditya and INS Vikrant. Okay. At the same time, what we will see that they are going to have these arrestor cables and all, so that you don't have to go in the detail. That arrestor cables will be there for catching the, and then they will be doing the ski jump. Okay, ski jump to take off, and then arrestor cables to stop them. If you have seen any fighter jet, you may have seen that there are arresters. Arresters are cables. So on these, when we are talking about the carriers, they don't have that much area where plane can come to stop. So there are cables which then attach themselves to these fighter jets, and these cables pull it so that their speed can be brought down. So arrestor cables will be used to stop them, and ski jumps to just fly. Okay. So this is one part. The third part is these Rafale jets, we have recently got their trial, and the trial has been done during this Varun exercise. There is this Varun exercise between India and France. India and France. So during this exercise itself, what we have seen that our Navy has also reviewed the functioning of this Rafale-M jet. We have seen that how it operates, is it working fine or not. So we have seen that in this Varun exercise. Okay. So it is expected, suppose after this, if deal is finalized next month, so within 3.5 years, within 3.5 years the delivery will start, and in 6.5 years it is going to be completed. Okay, so this is the timeline also, that if we start now, deliveries will begin in 3.5 years and then it will end in 6.5 years. Last time we have got 36 Rafale jets. We have got the 36 Rafale jets and we have got it from France at a cost of rupees 60,000 crore. Okay, this time we are giving 63,000 crore, but we are going to get 26 only. Okay, so this is what we call as inflation. Okay, तो inflation आपको यहाँ से आप समझ सकते हो कि what is inflation. Earlier we have bought 36 Rafale jet for 60,000 crore. This was in 2016, and then in 2025 now we are having 63,000 crore, but we are going to get only 26 Rafale jets. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. We are going to develop, see, there is one more thing, like we are going to develop a twin engine. We are going to develop a twin engine deck based fighter. We are going to develop this twin engine deck based fighter. Okay, so this will be completed almost in 1 decade now. Okay, like we are also planning for this, that we are going to make our own indigenous carrier based fighter jets. So that will be completed in some years to come, but for the time being we are going to go with Rafale jets for the next few years. Okay, so this is the third major topic. Now coming to the last one, now we are going to talk about India-China relation. So what is the context here? There are multiple aspects of it. Which we are going to see. Okay, if we are talking about India and China, so what we have seen that over the last 1 decade, okay, if we talk about this, if we talk about India and China relation, now see here, can you tell me what has been the scenario in last decade? Okay, if we are talking from 2016 to 2025, can you tell me what has been the issues or what has been the major events? What has been the major events in India-China relation? Okay, what has been the major events? Any idea what has been the major events in India-China relation in the last 1 decades? Can you tell some names? Let me remind you, there have been a few skirmishes. There is an area Despang and Demchok. In 2013, there was clash between India and forces of this India and forces of China in Despang in Ladakh. Okay. Then at the same time in Demchok in 2016. Then what we see that there was Doklam crisis in 2017. Doklam in 2017. Then there was this Galwang Valley crisis, the major crisis in 2020. There was this major crisis of Galwan Valley in 2020. Okay. So there have been 4 major instances. When India and China has got into some skirmishes, means some struggles across the border. So this is one part we have seen. At the same time, we have seen the Wuhan summit also, or Wuhan spirit, which was very much in the news, but then there was no result. Okay. Wuhan summit, then there was summit in India also. Okay. So there have been multiple summits, but without any result. Okay. Now in the last 1 to 2 years, there have been some agreements. There have been some agreements, and especially a BRICS summit was there in October 2024. Okay. There was this BRICS summit. BRICS summit in 2024. That was the turning point. That was the turning point. Okay. That relations started to improve. Now we have got this border patrolling agreement. Now we have again seen that now there is this border patrolling agreement. Now we are seeing this border patrolling agreement between India and China. The Indian foreign minister has said that we are returning back to all those points where patrolling was done initially. Okay. We are returning back to those areas where patrolling was being done initially. So that is one part which we see. Okay. So this is one angle, that what has been the major crisis. Okay. Now let us talk a little bit about China. China has become the second largest economy of world. China has become the second largest economy of world. Okay. At the same time, if we look at this, China has increased its defense budget continuously. China has increased its defense budget continuously, even in 2024. Okay. What we see that defense budget raised by 7.2% in 2024. So in 2024, they have started raising their defense budget. There is another part, they have already got huge advantages in artificial intelligence, militarization of space, and also hypersonic weapons. Okay. So what we see that China is also getting edge. China has edge in AI, hypersonic weapons, and even what we see that they have also this quantum communication. They have also got this space militarization capability. So we see that China is having this edge in space militarization also, AI also, quantum also, and all other powers. Okay. So that is one part. Okay. Then if we look from the India's perspective, if we look from the India's perspective, our defense budget is less than 2% of our GDP. Okay. So our defense budget, if we look at this, it is less than 2% of GDP. It is less than 2% of the GDP. Okay. If we look at our preparation in terms of fighter jets and all, our armed forces or our air forces are not at its full capacity. We generally, if we compare the Indian armed air forces with Chinese air forces, we are not even at our full capacity. There is lack of fighter jets. What we see, there is lack of fighter jets, lack of indigenous technology, Okay. At the same time, like what has been our focus? Our focus has been mainly on guarding the borders, not developing our capability. Okay. What India has focused on? India focused on border guarding technology. We have focused on border guarding technology, means we have made our borders infiltrable. We have been able to stop smuggling and all. We have been able to check the movements of troops across the Indian borders. But you know that in the present times, guarding border is not sufficient. It's not that the army is going to come through the land. They can come from all sources. Our defense capability in terms of intercepting the incoming missiles, in terms of intercepting the incoming bomb threats or others, or drones, that is also limited. Okay. So we have not even done advancement in terms of our drone capabilities. That is also at the lowest level. Okay, or you can say that at a very minimal level. Okay. So we see that drone capability, our drone capability is also not comparable. So we see that if we talk about the economic front, if we talk about the geopolitics, if we talk about the military front, then China is racing very ahead of us. China is getting at a very fast pace, and we are losing by a great margin on all these fronts, whether it is geopolitics, whether it is military or security. Okay. And in this context, we have to see one more part. Okay. The changing geopolitics. The changing geopolitics. Okay. China, US trade war. Now see, there is one part. If we are looking at China-US trade war, right now it is this talk that China and US are having huge trade wars and everything. But China and US can negotiate a deal at any point of time. China and US, if they come close, if they find out a deal, then that becomes a challenge for India. And China has made deals with US in past. China has been able to make deals with US in the past also. So they can navigate through all those issues. China and US, or China, it has a very important policy. It is not dealing with just one leader or two leaders. China is able to deal with all the parties, all the leaders of any country. So it's not that it will be impacted if Donald Trump is there or someone new is coming. China is able to navigate through all these things. Okay. So what we see that China's power, China's diplomacy to negotiate across party lines or different groups. So China is able to manage through all these things. In Myanmar, when the democratic government was there, China was making deal with that also. When democratic government was over, when there is military rule, then also China is making deal with them. China was making deals with Bangladesh when even Sheikh Hasina was there. And when Sheikh Hasina is gone, when the other party is there, China is able to negotiate with them also. So China has this capacity to deal with or to have a deal with all of the leaders across the party lines, across the organizations. So that is one capacity of China. Now in this context, what comes in the favor of India? What is the opportunity for India? What is the opportunity for India? Okay. It's not that everything is bad. We have various levels for engaging with China. We have the BRICS. We have the SCO. These are the levels where we can engage with China. These are the levels where we can engage with China. Okay. Then technology. technology, space, and geopolitics. These are the portions where we can compete with China. Okay. So we have got opportunities also. Okay. We have got opportunities where we can engage with China, where we can compete with China also. And what we have to also do at the same time, avoid confrontation with China. Avoid this confrontation with China. So this is another part. Plus at the same time, caution with respect to deals with China. Caution with respect to assertiveness of China. Okay. So we have to engage in multiple manner. In some of the fronts, we can engage with China, like SEO, BRICS and all. In other fronts, what we can do is, like technology, space, geopolitics, we can compete with China. At the same time, we can avoid confrontation and we can be cautious also, because China has been known to backstab. China has been known for its backstabbing. China has been known for reversing its policies. China has been known for changing its policies, taking 180-degree turn. Okay. So we have to take a cautionary approach also. We have to take this cautionary approach also. We have to engage with them also. We have to avoid confrontation also. But at the same time, we have to compete with them also. So when we are talking about India and China, so we need to discuss, we need to look at all these sections. Okay. So I hope that is clear. I hope all these parts is clear. What can be India's approach with respect to China? I hope this part is clear. Now there is this one news article which I am not going to even discuss because it is not worth discussing. Okay. Basically the news article is about the Muzaffarnagar, where the city authorities have issued notices to many people for wearing black bands. Okay. So normally you know that in democracy, for anything and everything, a silent protest cannot be curtailed. A silent protest cannot be curtailed for anything and everything. And what we see that in Muzaffarnagar district in Uttar Pradesh, notices have been issued to more than 300 people for protesting against the Waqf Act. The city administration has issued a notice and has asked the people to submit a bond of 2 lakh rupees each. Why? Because people were wearing black bands and were protesting against the Waqf Act. Okay. So while you are writing anything about, like if you have to give an example or if you have to give a case study as what are the challenges with respect to this right to freedom of expression and all, so you can put that part. That you can take this as a case study, as an example. You can put that it has been done from time to time in various parts of the country. So this is one thing which has been issued by the city administration of Muzaffarnagar. Okay. So that is one part. In any situation, in any case, you know that a silent protest cannot be curtailed. That is the basic thing guaranteed under Article 19, freedom of expression, and that was silent protest. Okay. So this is one case study which you can put. Okay. So not going in the detail of it, just write it like that, that in Muzaffarnagar, city administration gave notices to people for protesting against the Waqf Act. Of course, people can protest against any act. People can protest against the constitutional amendment. Protesting even against constitutional amendment is not a challenge. Okay. If people want to have a change in the any constitutional amendment or any law, that is their basic right. They can do at any point of time. But issuing a notice for that, and that to a silent protest, that is your case study. That is your example which you can put in the answers. Okay. So that will be all for today. These were the topics. In the next session, we will discuss the other remaining topics. So let's meet tomorrow at the same time, 5 p.m. to discuss the remaining topics. We are cutting it a little bit short these days because there is other classes also. Okay. So after a few weeks, we will continue for 1 hour, 5 minutes, 1 hour, 10 minutes. But right now we are taking it 50-55 minutes. Okay. Any question, any doubt? UAPA I will discuss. I think one of you had this question about UAPA. In next session tomorrow, we are going to discuss that. Okay. So thank you so much. Take care and all the best. Thank you.